Gordon Chang joins us now on the phone. He's the author of Nuclear Showdown: North Korea Takes on the World. Gordon, North Korea claims it has successfully tested a hydrogen bomb capable of fitting on an ICBM. If true, what does that new development mean?
Well, that means that their time frame for being able to hold the U.S. at risk probably has been accelerated. We've been thinking about a year, maybe 9 months, maybe 15, before they were able to integrate all of their capabilities and actually put a nuke on top of a missile being able to reach the American homeland. It looks like they're making much faster progress than we thought even just a couple weeks ago.
Well, the president took to Twitter Sunday morning accusing China and South Korea of not doing enough to contain aggression from Pyongyang, saying that the North Koreans, quote, only understand one thing. What do you think he means by one thing?
Well, most people have interpreted that phrase, Elaine, as the use of force. I actually think that the North Koreans understand a little bit more than just military action. And the reason is that since 1953, which is the armistice that ended the fighting in the Korean War, there has been an uneasy deterrence, but deterrence nonetheless, of the North Koreans. And so I think that they do understand that the strength of the United States, which is more than just our military. It's our ability, our alliance partners, and indeed the international system. So there are a couple things that Kim Jong-un understands more than just the use of force.
Well, to what extent, Gordon, do you think North Korea and China are somewhat responsible, for lack of a better word, and to what extent is the United States responsible for dealing with this nuclear threat?
Well, the United States is the guarantor of the international system, and we're certainly the guarantor of peace in North Asia. So, in a sense, this is our responsibility to restore some sort of stability. China and North Korea have been playing a really interesting game. The North Koreans have been making very fast technological advances, much faster than the U.S. intelligence community thought possible. And so we've got to start to think that maybe it is possible that North Korea is getting help from China and perhaps Russia on technical advances. We know that the Chinese have been helping substantially on their ballistic missile program. Maybe also they've been helping on nuclear weapons as well, because I was a bit surprised that they have made such fast progress really across the board.
Well, this follows, of course, last week's launch of a ballistic missile over Japan and into the North Pacific. All the while, the South Koreans remained committed to a diplomatic solution. Do you see our allies in the region changing their approach in the coming days?
No, I think that everyone does want a diplomatic solution, including the United States. South Korea, now led by a new president, Moon Jae-in, who took office in early May, really does believe that there can be a dialogue between Seoul and Pyongyang. The North Koreans have rebuffed him repeatedly. So although Donald Trump says that the South Koreans are appeasers, the North Koreans apparently do not want to be appeased. And so this is a very delicate situation. And the other thing is that President Trump was scheduled, or at least thought that he was going to give notice to the South Koreans this coming week about the termination of the U.S.-South Korea Free Trade Agreement. That was never a good idea under any circumstances, but especially not now with the North Koreans being so belligerent. So I hope that President Trump listens to others and decides to keep KORUS, as the deal is known, in place.
Yeah, we will continue to watch whether or not, in fact, this latest provocation by North Korea affects President Trump's course of action on South Korea. Gordon Chang, thank you so much.
Thank you, Elaine.